What's this? Looks like a Sears something twin. What's all that garbage down on the bottom? Kind of looks like a loader subframe. What exactly is this guy? It's like a 76 or 77. Oh! Has an oil filter on it. You know what that means? BGMS. Mint. So exactly what is this? Well, it's a 1976 SS18, just like the one that has my front end loader on it. 3-point hitch. What looks like a loader subframe. Is it a loader subframe? Well, what's this thing here? That looks like a front loader bracket. Oh, what's this? A loader bucket? What? What's that? That looks like another loader frame. And a pump? Well, I'll be dipped. That's right. Cranky Motorsports now has 3, count them 3, 1, 2, 3 front end loaders. What am I gonna do? Can't really keep them all because I kind of told my wife that I was buying this one to resell, but the new one is missing the lift cylinders, most of the hoses, but the frame is really good. Has all the self-leveling brackets. Some weird stuff that I noticed, these diagonal rods have been cut shorter, and the reason they did that is because somewhere along the line somebody added this second bar onto the loader subframe, which is not quite the right dimensions to hold the loader arms. I'm not exactly sure why they did that. I think one of two things. Either they wanted to move the whole loader frame forward, which I don't know why you would do that, because it's kind of balanced so that the weight works well on the tractor. If you move it forward, it's going to put more of a cantilever effect on the front of the tractor. The front brackets are welded on, which, again, I'm not exactly sure why they did that, because if I climb down under here, whoops, and look up underneath, if I climb down here and look underneath the tractor and don't drop my phone this time, the actual bracket right here is what bolts into the frame. You can see in the mule drive, you have these 2 brackets on the sides. There's actually a bolt in there that goes through this front part of the frame and connects onto this front bracket that holds the pump and the diagonal supports for the loader. Somewhere along the line, instead of unbolting these 2 brackets and pulling the whole mule drive out, they took a torch to it, torched it off, and then probably said, oh crap, that unbolts. Let me just weld it onto the frame. I don't know why people do stuff sometimes like that, but that just means that all this stuff is like super solid on the frame of the tractor, so I really am not inclined to take it off. I was originally, when I picked this thing up, I looked at the tractor and I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit beat up. And then the more I looked at it, I'm like, wait, this is a BGMS. It's a 76 SS18 machine. It's been pretty well cared for. I mean, look at how straight those fenders are. There's not a ripple in the whole fender on these things. Long handle 3-point hitch. This is the one that has the travel lock in it. So, 76 SS18, plastic fuel tank. It's seen better days. You know, I mean, that's bad. So, oops, the gauge, top of the gauge fell off. I don't need that. Definitely gonna need to take the tank off and clean it, but they did some smart stuff. They put a fuel shutoff on this thing, so none of that gunky, watery, nasty fuel that smells like watery, gunky, old, nasty fuel actually got to the engine. This thing's been sitting for about 3 years in the guy's backyard, from what I was told. Been repainted, the whole thing, with like Caterpillar yellow and some off-white. It's really not that bad. I'll probably end up changing the dash on it, but all the cables are freed up. The engine doesn't even look that bad. The nose cone's not even broken. I mean, look at how nice the engine looks. Would you look at that? BGMS. Oh, oh, oh. My favorite owning. 18 horse, oil filter. It's had some work done to it. The intake gaskets have been changed at one point. They're those crummy green ones that I hate. Spark plug wires have been done at one point. They're straight boots, which are kind of a pain in the butt, but they work. Oil's there. I mean, it's a little dirty, but not too bad. Tastes like chocolate syrup with gasoline mixed in it. But otherwise, I mean, it's in pretty good shape. Not too much mice stuff down there in the bottom. A little bit, but not too much. The battery's junk, of course. But, man, an unbroken nose cone. So, I mean, for this being a loader tractor, maybe it has a crack in it. I can't really tell. But for this being a loader tractor, it was pretty well cared for. Most loader tractors I've seen, the rear ends are all loose. The two parts of the frame where they connect to each other are falling apart. I mean, it's possible that the guy... Supposedly, the guy that I got this from, he said it was his grandfather's. His grandfather was like 97 years old, wanted to restore this, quote-unquote, and it'd been sitting in his yard for 3 years. So I don't know if 3 years ago or 4 or 5 years ago, he welded that front bracket on it and painted everything and then drove it around a bit, and that's why it's all, you know, it looks like it's been leaking oil for a while, so it's probably going to need some gaskets and seals. Looks like the oil pan gasket's leaking. You know, it was pretty well cared for at one point. I don't know how long it's been sitting, other than, you know, the guy that I bought it from said it's been sitting behind his grandfather's house for 3 years. I don't really know how long the tractor's been sitting before that or what its life was, but it's not in too bad shape. I mean, I'm really liking the tractor. It has an hour meter on it. Let's see what it's got for hours if I can read it. Pretty grungy here. Might have to clean it up, but it's just... It looks like it's rolled around once, so like, what, 660 hours or something like that, which for this motor's nothing, so can't wait to get it running. But yeah, it's a 76 SS18, just like the one I have my other loader on, with a pretty complete loader. Like I said, it's missing the hydraulic cylinders for the bucket and for the main lift, and it's missing all the lines. Guy said if he looks around and he finds them, he'll let me know. I don't really expect to hear back from the guy. I got it for a pretty good deal, and my thought was originally just to flip it. But this whole loader frame is in such good condition. I think it's in better shape than the one that's actually on my other tractor. So I think I'm going to keep these two, and I actually put my Craftsman one up for sale. So this silver front end loader, which is off of a 1991 Craftsman GT6000, this whole thing, pump, hydraulic rams, lines, everything, is up for sale. I put it up for $2,200. Maybe it's a little bit ambitious, but it'll weed out the tire kickers anyway. So if somebody makes me a serious offer on it, it's going to get sold. Even though I hate to do it, this one's really in nicer shape than the other ones, and this one has much bigger hydraulic cylinders. These are like, I don't know, 1.25 inch ram or something like that. They're bigger than the ones on the other tractor. This one has grease fittings on the pivot points on some of the rams, but like I said, I can't keep everything. I do have a couple other tractors for sale that I'm hopefully getting rid of pretty soon, but it doesn't make up what I spent on the other one, so can't really keep 3 loaders. However, I listed this one for $2,200. That's my don't really want to sell it price, so if it doesn't sell, I won't be too heartbroken. I'll just sell some more tractors because, I mean, I have a couple. Yeah, little update from Cranky Motorsports. Loader number 3 and another BGMS 18-horse motor, which are my favorite. So I'm happy about that. I'll catch you guys later. Well, everybody, this is a day I didn't think was going to come. This is my 1991 Craftsman front-end loader, and the new owner is on his way up to buy it right now. That's right. I'm selling my Craftsman loader because I do have now 2 Sears quick-way loaders with the whole sub-assembly and everything. So the main reason for selling that one was to pay myself back on this second one that I bought, which has a mint bucket. It's missing the lift cylinders and a few other things, so I need to get measurements off of the one that's on my SS18 so I can get the correct lift cylinders for this guy. But in the next few weeks, hopefully I'll have everything to put that one together. And yeah, I'm getting good money for this thing, so I'm not heartbroken whatsoever. I'm getting more than I paid for it by quite a bit, and the guy's going to put it on a Gravely, so he's happy with it. I'm going to be super happy with it. So he'll be here in a little bit, and I won't say I'm laughing all the way to the bank. I mean, it does hurt to sell something like that because, you know, I hate to see it go, but it's a great machine, and I think the guy's going to have fun with it. So on to bigger and better things. Alright, you guys, here's another Cranky Motorsports tech tip for you. If you ever find yourself in a position to buy a front-end loader and you don't know if the pump works, you can take a good old drill, take an old pulley and squash a bunch of washers together on this thing so it spins with the drill, and then take your regular old ordinary belt, stick it on your pump here, see if I can get it on there, and make sure you spin it in the right direction, which is counterclockwise. Which sometimes is a pain in the butt because, you know, there's stuff in the way, but once you get the loader frame out of the way, just keep moving around so you can get some tension on that belt. It doesn't really give you that much RPM, but loader works. Man. So what's this? Well, it looks like a 68 Super 12 with the front end loader on it. And you'd be right. It's a 68 Super 12 with a front end loader on it. Why is this at the old Cranky Motorsports compound? I'll tell you why. Remember earlier in my video I said I sold my Craftsman front end loader? Well, it didn't really hurt that much because I found this guy immediately after I made a deal for the Craftsman. Found this guy on Craigslist, or actually on Facebook Marketplace. A buddy of mine sent it to me, and I made a deal for it. So, complete Super 12 with the front end loader. That's 100% complete. It's not perfect. He said the motor was seized on the tractor. He said it started squealing really bad and screeching, and then he just shut it off and he never started it. So I'm betting it might even just be the starter generator that's bad on that motor. But we'll get to check that out at some point. The loader works. The bucket's got a little bit of holes in it, you know, down yonder, and the same thing on this side, but not too big of a deal. Also came with this guy, which is actually a 67 Super 12 with a, I don't know, like a 71 hood and grill on it. Also came with mower deck, snowblower, 39-inch snowblower, and all of this stuff. So 2 extra motors. He said he thinks this one ran. This one he's never tried, but that's a points motor out of a 67. A couple of extra air cleaner parts, 8-inch moldboard plow, the whole lift assembly for the snowblower, a couple of battery trays, random bucket of parts, gas tank, all that stuff. So it was a pretty good deal for what it was. I mean, I don't always tell my deals online just because if I ever sell anything, I don't want people to get bent out of shape, but my plans, now that I have that guy, and I still have my original loader in here on my SS18 over here. This guy works perfectly fine. I think the pump on this one is a little bit worn out. And as you guys saw from earlier in my video, I also have this loader, which is basically the whole frame assembly, the lift arms, the diagonal supports which have been cut down, the pump, the controls, but no hydraulic lines and no lift cylinders. So that one I bought on this SS18. Bought that one last week, last Tuesday, so just about a week ago. Today's Monday. I bought it last Tuesday. Bought all that one thinking I was going to use that for my second front end loader because I want 2 of them. But now that I have a third one, well, I had 3 yesterday and I sold my Craftsman, but now that I have this guy, because this one's more complete, almost all the hoses on this one are brand new. He said one of the lift cylinders for the bucket leaks, so I'll either replace it or have it rebuilt or something like that. Although if I replace them, I could use these to put on the other loader. But my plans are to have 2 complete working loaders, you know, 100% functional, in good shape. And then I'm either going to keep the third frame or I'm going to sell the third frame and, you know, just keep 2 working ones and get rid of one because I can't have everything. But that chassis may end up being for sale. I'm not exactly sure yet. This chassis, I'm either going to completely strip it down, take the grill and the hood off of it, and maybe take the rear end out and keep it as a spare. I'm not sure yet. But this one I kind of want to keep this grill and hood as a spare because I don't have any Super 12 grills or anything left. So I might keep that grill and hood as a spare, because the hood's actually in really good shape on this guy. And then I may put, I don't know, I may put that hood and grill on this tractor and sell it complete. I haven't decided yet, but at any rate, I have to get rid of a couple frames, a couple of tractor frames. I actually have these 260, well, one's a 67 and one's a 68. I picked this one up a couple of weeks ago off a buddy of mine. It actually runs and drives fairly well. It just has some wiring gremlins, and the starter generator was taken out of it. The headlight panel's falling out, but that tractor's actually really in nice shape. It's a 67 Suburban 10. It has a newer replacement engine in it with the big oil pan. It's actually a 12 horse. And then that guy is a 68 Suburban 10 that has a 12 horse points motor in it that I put in it. Haven't finished wiring that one either. I might sell one of these two, I'm not sure yet. If I sell one, I might end up keeping the 68 just because it has better footboards and stuff like that on it. This one I may end up selling, but I'm not sure yet. And then I also have this 1970 Suburban 12 for sale, which is another one that's kind of been, I've had that thing forever. That's the one I've referred to in other videos as the Joe tractor, because I bought it off this kid Joe. I've had it sitting since I bought it, probably 5 years it's been sitting, maybe even longer. And I've had an engine in it once or twice, pulled it back out, and I was going to put a 10 horse Kohler in this that I have, and it's just been sitting. So right now this one's on Craigslist. Haven't sold it yet, but I don't know, maybe someday I will. So I got a couple for sale, but yeah, I got 3 loaders again. My pile of tires is huge. Man, what a mess. Got a 10 disc harrow for sale, got a 7-inch moldboard, an 8-inch moldboard, and another 8-inch moldboard for sale now too. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on here at the Cranky compound. So I got to get this stuff, at least the loader, in the garage. So I will catch up with you guys later. Bye.